All right, let's get started. It is just shortly after 6 o'clock. I wanted to thank you for joining me this evening on this beautiful day. And what we are talking about today is everything that you need to know about a home buying process. So what we're going to do is start from A to Z, and my goal is to help you understand that buying a home is not that huge big mountain that a lot of people really truly think it may be. So that's what we're going to do today, is talk about the process, what it takes, and where you should start, and hopefully that will make sense for you. At the end of the workshop, we will have some time for question and answer sessions. And if you have any questions, you are welcome to type it in the chat box, or if you want to unmute yourself at the end and ask away as well, that would be great. So just a little bit about myself. I have been in the real estate industry for over 11 years. My true passion and my goal is I truly believe that anyone with the right planning can become a homeowner. And then my goal is to help you become part of the community and help you be a sustainable and responsible homeowner. We do have concierge services and can help you move pretty much anywhere in the United States and Canada. And also please consider us as your yellow pages nowadays. So if you need any recommendations for contractors, for organizers, to help you declutter, services, staging, inspectors, we have everything. So please don't hesitate to let us know on how we can help you. So let's jump in. What I usually do when I do this face-to-face is I'm always curious to see, what has piqued you about this topic. Maybe you're in the process of looking to see what your options are and if you can buy a home. So that's what we're going to jump in today. So here's what we're going to talk about today. Some of the fears and facts about buying a home. What are the realities of our market today? 6 steps to home ownership, financing, which is a big key step as well, and then truly what happens after today. Once you're done with the workshop, if you were to get started, here's where I would suggest that you go next. So, fears versus facts. Number one, and I hear this all the time, people ask me, it's like, you know what, I cannot afford to buy a home right now. And what I can tell you is that until we sit down together and actually figure out on what your goals are, tell me about your dream. Ideally, where would you like to live? What does that dream home look like, right? Until we know all the facts and we can actually try to have some kind of framework for a plan together, we're not going to be able to know, are you able to afford something right now? Because as we will talk about it a little bit later on in the workshop, you can buy a home with no money down. I think this is one of the biggest misconceptions that I hear, where people believe that they need to have at least 20% down, and it's not the truth. There's tons of programs out there, and it depends on your financial circumstances and lots of questions that I would encourage you to ask yourself to help you understand that. Well, I should wait until the market gets better. Well, here's what I can tell you about today's market, right? We are in a challenging market because of the quarantine, because of a virus going around. And I can tell you 100% that there are people out there buying homes right now. And they're taking advantage of the fact that a lot of other buyers stopped looking, which means that these people who are taking advantage of the situation actually have less competition and they have more options. So no matter what the market is, there's always a good time to buy, as long as we have a plan for you ready to go. I don't have the money for the down payment. Well, there are a variety of down payment programs that are available to you. It's just a matter of sitting down again and figuring out where you are with your finances. What do you want to buy? Where do you want to buy? And there are lots of programs that are available, whether they're private or they're state sponsors for first-time home buyers like yourself. Well, I can't afford to buy my dream home right now. Okay, let's sit down and see what that looks like. If you are going to tell me that your ideal home looks like, 2,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms on half an acre. I get it. I totally respect it. And I will do my best to help you out with that. However, if right now you want to buy a home and financially that 4-bedroom, 2,000 square foot home is just not a reality for you, then let's figure out and put a plan together and helping you get there. Okay. And what we can do is buy something smaller right now, maybe a cape or a rancher that helps you get started, and then make a plan on what we can do in maybe 2 years or 3 years and get you into that really nice and desirable big home that you really have on your mind. I am a big proponent of real estate investing and building your retirement and wealth goals through real estate. So this is something that I am very passionate about, and I'm more than happy to share with you on how you are able to do that by building a starter home and then moving into your next home and keeping your first starter home as your investment property to help you plan and grow your wealth. So I'm more than happy to talk to you about that as well. So why buy now? I get this question also all the time. When is a good time to buy? Is now a good time? And here's a couple things that I will tell you that is still true. The interest rates are still definitely low. They are jumping around day to day. However, they are still very reasonable. And what happens is when your rate, the interest rate is lower, it allows you to be able to afford more of a home because of you have to pay less interest. Your long-term investment grows, right? You are buying something for yourself, and when you rent, you pay someone else's mortgage. When you buy a home for yourself, you are paying down your own mortgage, right? So you're actually, you're investing in yourself. And also, there is always a pride of homeownership. It gives you stability, it's security. It is truly the American dream. You have the freedom to customize. If you wanted to paint your walls blue, you can do that. A lot of the times when you're renting, you have restrictions on what you can and cannot do on the inside and outside of your home. There are absolutely tax benefits. I can't tell you how many times I have children of my clients. They are single, they have very good paying jobs, and I tell them, let's talk about helping you buy a home so that way you can reduce that tax burden that you have to carry every year, because they get taxed at a high rate because they have no deductions. Okay. Again, you are building your wealth when you are an owner of a home, and also you're helping future generations as well. This is where it comes in again, a conversation about wealth and home ownership as a potential investment for your retirement. So this is very basic. It is not given for you to actually jump into these numbers, but just to give you an idea, if you were to buy a home for, let's say, $250,000 and your mortgage is $1,200 a month, right, over 30 years, which is typically the length of the loan, you are going to pay everything off and you actually own an asset. It's 100% yours. You can use it as a vehicle, or you can live in your home as mortgage free. When you rent, you still pay $1,200 per month, and you're actually helping your landlord to pay the mortgage. Your rent does go up every year without a fail. I can assure you of that. And at the end, let's say you rented for 30 years, and I do know people like that, you have nothing. You have no asset that is value to you or to your family or to your grandkids, okay? So that's where we are. Now, when I meet with my clients, I can tell you that I don't always have the good news available for you right away, right? Depending on your circumstances, I may suggest for you to hold off on buying your home. And it could be various reasons. For example, if you just started your job and you're on your job for just a few months, when mortgage lenders look at your job history, they do want to see consistency of you being in your current job, and then they also look at to see your previous jobs that you have been at those jobs for a decent amount of time. So if you just started your job and you are relying on that income to help you buy your home, you should stay and wait for buying for about 6 months, right? That will show the lender that you are serious about your income, and you have a stability, and you're not planning on jumping around back and forth because of your interests, maybe other positions. Financially, that always sometimes happens. If your credit score may not be the best right now, that's okay. Don't get discouraged. Don't think that you will ever not be able to buy a home. Let's sit down and figure out, how far away are you, right? Where's your credit score now? Where do you need to be for what you would like to accomplish for the home that you want to buy? And roughly, how long is it going to take for you to get there? It can be a few months, it can be 6 months, maybe a little bit longer, right? And that's when we put a plan together to help you get there. Also, what I don't want to see happening is you telling me, Olga, I love my house, but I cannot afford anything else. Okay? And you do not want to be house rich and everything else poor. The goal is for you to be able to live in the home that you're comfortable with, and also have the ability to travel, to have hobbies, to do fun things with you and your loved ones, and truly enjoy life. Right? So that's why it's very important for me when we have the conversation. I'm not going to ask you, how much of a home can you afford? Let's say it's $300,000. I'm going to ask you, what are you comfortable paying per month? Because that's really is getting down and figuring out what that budget looks like for you. Okay. Also, short-term ownership. If I'm working with active duty military, or if you're relocating to the area for only a short period of time, I'm not going to suggest that you buy a home. If you're only here for a couple of years, it does not make sense, go ahead and rent, right? But until I actually sit down and speak with you and figure out where you are at this point in your life, in your career, in your plans, I won't be able to help you and advise you so that way you can make the best decisions for yourself and your family. So here's what I also do. Okay. When we sit down and you tell me that my goal is to be in a certain school district, right, in a certain town, what we also do is we analyze to see how the market in that town has been, the real estate market. And what I share with you is the same thing that I share with the sellers that I work with. And my goal is to help you understand how the market fluctuates based on seasons. Right? Because people will ask me, well, when do you think there's going to be the most homes that are going to be on the market so I have the best choices, right? When I'm shopping, I want to be able to see as many homes as possible. And this is what we look at. So here's an example for you that I wanted to share with you. We look at 12 months and we look at how many homes were listed. That's the second column, okay? So based on this example, the best time to shop last year in 2019 was in May. There were actually 26 homes that went on the market. So that's when I would tell you, based on the statistics, if you are serious about shopping in that home, the month of May, which is where we are right now, is awesome. Okay. What we also look at and to see is what your competition is. The competition is the column right in the middle. It's called pended. That is how many homes have found buyers, and those buyers made offers on those homes and the offers were accepted. This is your competition. So if you were to be shopping in the month of May, that means that you would have 27 other buyers that were competing for those homes along with you. And it's important to know what your competition is like. So that way you understand is on how serious other buyers are, what do you have to do in order to set yourself apart when you're making an offer on, and if you find the home of your dreams. So we really narrow down, and my goal is to make sure that if there's competition and we know that you're going to be maybe one of a few offers that are being presented to that seller, my goal is to make sure that you stand out and your offer gets accepted over everyone else's, right? We're prepared to do that. And then what we also look at is the last column. It's called cumulative days on the market. That's the column all the way to your right. And that will give you an idea roughly, if it's your desired neighborhood or your school district that you really want to be in, how long roughly on average does it take to sell a home, okay? And that will give you an idea when we are planning and we're working backwards on ideally when you want to be in your home of your dreams, what is it going to take? How much time do we need to plan, right? So for example, if you are currently renting your home and you have to give your landlord 60 days notice, how much time are we going to need to find the home of your dreams, put it under contract, and then go through the mortgage process. So what I call it is we work backwards to figure out is when do we need to be actively ready to go, pre-approved for your mortgage, out and looking at homes to make sure that you are in your home when you need it to be. So 6 steps, not as simple as this, but that just, my goal here is just to give you a framework of what that looks like, all right? So what I want you to think about is that the steps to becoming a homeowner is the alphabet A to Z, okay? And what happens is what I see time and time and again is my clients say, well, you know, we're really interested in looking at homes, you know, we're ready to buy, and then they actually start looking at homes. And I can tell you that looking at homes is letter M in the preparation of the homeownership process, right? So letter M is right in the middle. So what happened was these buyers have actually skipped everything from A to M in a preparation to make sure that they're fully prepared. Okay, so this is what my goal is to help you understand is truly where do you need to start to make sure that the process is not stressful, you actually know exactly what you qualify for, you make plans for buying your home, and then you actually become the homeowner, and the whole process was very pleasant, and you truly enjoyed it, and you now achieved the home, and now you're owning the home of your dreams. So your goal number 1, when you are starting to look and want to become a homeowner, is you need to hire your agent, okay? Whether you are in Pennsylvania or you are in New Jersey, okay, for both states, the services of a real estate agent do not cost you anything. So it is truly is 100% in your best interest to work with someone, because their goal, their number 1 focus is going to be on you to help you through this process from letter A to letter Z. Okay, so that is number 1. Number 2, you need to get your financing pre-approved and get your budget situated. Okay, 3 is when you actually finally start looking at homes, going to open houses, and start narrowing down your choices. After that, we make an offer, we negotiate all the terms, we actually inspect your home, go through the mortgage process, and finally, we get to letter Z, and I get, which is my biggest privilege, is to congratulate you when you became a homeowner. So let's dive in a little bit more into each one of these. So number 1, when you hire an agent, here is what our commitment when we work with our clients, with you, on what we would like to help you with. Number 1, we educate you about the market, okay? My goal always is asking you questions on what do you want to accomplish? What are your goals? What are your dreams? Where do you want to be? Okay. Then we actually work on a custom search plan for you and only forward you the homes that meet your criteria. What I can tell you is that the system that we use, which is our multiple listing service, is the most accurate system out there. Okay. Realtor.com, Trulia, all those systems are good enough in the beginning. However, you definitely want to make sure that you get on your agent's custom search from our MLS system, because that is the only way for you to get the most up-to-date information, all the homes that will come on the market immediately, and be notified right away. Then we help you and coordinate the work of other professionals. If you need contractor recommendations, recommendations for appraisers, for inspectors, we are here to help you. We work with a group of vetted professionals to make sure that your process of your home purchase goes as smoothly as possible. The next big ticket item is negotiation. It is, I think, one of the hardest challenges that we have to help you get through, because we negotiate everything. And our goal is to make sure that we negotiate the best terms, the best price for you, so that way you feel comfortable when you actually move into your home. We know that we did the best for you. And of course, is what I call it is I like to make sure that we are 10 steps ahead and we prevent from any problems arising, or if they do, and they most likely will, we get to solve them as soon as possible. That is what my job to help you. Also remember that when you hire an agent, that agent does not get paid until you buy your home. So we're working on an agreement that, you know, and also on the trust that we're working as a team together, which means that when we start to work together, and we come up with a game plan, right? And let's say we have a timeline in place because you are ready to go. We set expectations, mutual expectations in writing. And the goal is for you to understand that my commitment is to help you to find your home, and your commitment is to work with me as your agent. And that also confirms exclusivity between working with both of us. All right, let's talk about financing. This is very important, especially in today's market where a lot of things are very competitive. What I'm encouraging you to do, let's say if you are ready to consider buying a home, it's never too early to make sure that you have these documents ready to go, okay? Whether you have them physically in the paper form or those are somewhere maybe in Google Drive or Dropbox, you know, in our virtual cloud. These are the documents you're going to need when you buy a home in order to get pre-approved for your financing, okay? 2 years of your tax returns, 2 years of W-2s, 2 months of pay stubs, and 2 months of bank statements that show where your down payment money is. It can be your checking account, it can be your savings account. So I encourage you, if you are thinking about buying a home sometimes now, you know, maybe this year or maybe next year, you're going to need these documents. So I encourage you to start thinking about that list and start working on that list. When I work with my clients, I encourage them to get these documents over to the lender as soon as possible. And the goal is to get you pre-approved for your financing and actually get through halfway of the financing process. And what that means is that the only thing the lender is going to need in their approval, because they already looked at all of your financial documents, they're just going to say, well, Olga and Jessica, we just need you to find a home and we need to get all the legal documents, and otherwise you're ready to go. And what that means is when we are making an offer and help you buy that house that is very competitive and there are multiple offers on that home, if I was to tell the listing agent that you are ready to go, your financing is approved and the only thing you need is a house, it's going to put you on top of their list because it shows you how serious you are in your home process. So all of that we put together as part of your game plan when we are making plans to help you purchase the home. All right, financial health and mortgage pre-approvals. This is very important. I see it all the time, and when clients talk to me and they say, hey, Olga, well, I saw a commercial on TV and they were advertising a 2.5 interest rate, okay? What I want you to understand is that a lot of the times the commercials or print commercials or TV is always going to give you their best rate. And then what you don't realize that there's a lot of little asterisks that say it depends on your credit score, it depends on your income, and it depends on 500 other things. So I want you to understand that the better and more solid your financial health is, the better rates, the better terms you're going to get on your financing. This slide is very important, and I want you to make sure that you understand this, okay? The higher your credit score is, the better interest rate you're going to be able to get, and you can actually put down less money. So if you look at the green box on the right, if your credit score is more than 680, you can put as minimal as 3% down. However, because if your credit score is more risky for lenders because it is going to be less than 680, they're going to want you to put more money down because they consider you a risk, right? So that's why your score, if your score is 620, they're going to want you to put 20%. So that's why that 20% that you hear more often that you get. There are two programs that we have. VA is for veterans, as well as the USDA programs where there is no money down, okay? So if this is a program, these two programs that you might be interested in, definitely let's talk. There are income requirements for USDA, and there are other qualification requirements for VA. However, I want you to understand that the programs are available, okay? So if you're not sure where your financial health is, let's talk about that. How do we figure this out, okay? What I want you to do as part of your homework, when you have time, is I want you to check your financial health. And the way you can do that is you can request your credit report for free, okay? You can actually do it once a year, and I encourage you to do it once a year. You can get a free credit report from each of the credit agencies. So Equifax, TransUnion, and Equifax, I think, is the third one. Here's the website. It's called annualcreditreport.com. So once you get there, you can request your reports, and that will give you an idea where you stand, okay? Also, the lower your credit is and the lower your financial health is, the higher interest rate you're also going to have. And what that means, here's an example for you, right? If you have a higher interest rate of, let's say, 5.5 because you are a risk to the lender, you're only going to be able to buy a home that's, as an example here, for $217,000. However, if you had excellent credit history and a very good credit score, you with 3.5% interest rate, look, you could actually qualify to buy a home for $265,000. That's a huge difference. That's like $50,000 less. So it's very important to understand where you are, and if you're not quite there, it makes absolute sense to put a plan together to get you to that credit score bracket threshold that is going to make you the most desirable for the lender, to make sure that you get the best rate and the best terms. So definitely let's talk about that. All right, choosing a lender to partner with. This is important. I encourage you to speak with at least 3. I really do. I'm not going to suggest that you pick people that you see online or that get advertised on TV. You want to make sure that when you're working with the lender, you are making the biggest financial purchase of your life, most likely. It's a lot of money on the line. You want to make sure that the lender you pick to work with, you are absolutely comfortable with, okay? The one that is going to have your back and make sure that you get the best terms, the least amount of expenses, because if you're going to be buying this house and holding on to it for 30 years, that's a lot of money to spend. Okay. I am more than happy to make you some great recommendations of the lenders that I currently work with, that I personally use for my own business as well as for my own home purchases. I don't make any money. The best thing about these lenders, I know that they will have your back, they will have the best rates, the least costs, and they will make sure that they will get you to settlement, and they will make sure that you are happy with your purchase. So do let me know if that's something that would be of interest to you. Next, let's talk about budgeting, right? So with budgeting, here's my recommendation to you. Grab a notepad or a notebook, okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to go through and identify all of your expenses, okay? Because when the lenders look at your history and your credit history, what they calculate is your debt to income ratio, right? How much money do you bring in every 2 weeks versus how much money goes out every month, because you have to pay for things, right? And they look at the most important things: car payments, student loans, credit card debt, okay? So let's look at what you have currently. The next thing we're going to do is determine on the amount of money you can comfortably spend on your new home. And this is where, again, I'm encouraging you, and I will ask you, what are you comfortable paying for the home that you want to live in per month? And you can use your current example where you live now. If you're paying rent, we'll talk about that. Then we'll add your utilities, your cell phone bill, your cable, your TV, your internet, and things like that, right? And that's how we're going to figure out what is the target number is, okay? And then based on that number, we work backwards to try and figure out what will be the target sale price, the purchase price window of the home that we're going to help you buy, okay? If we need to make changes, this is where I can make some suggestions for you. On the budget side, you're going to work with me as your agent as well as your lender. It is his or her job to help you get that budget very nice and tight and make sure that it fits your goals of your home purchase, okay? A couple of things to consider. Okay, the amount of money, what people don't realize is that when you are buying a home, there are 2 expenses. One is your down payment, okay, unless you are doing a USDA loan or buying a home with a VA loan, and also money for your closing costs, okay, typically 7 to 8% of the purchase price. And then some of the questions I'm going to ask you, and that's why it's always a good idea to have a notebook, is where are those funds coming from? Do you have money saved? One of the best ways that I know for you to get some money is when you get your tax refund. My encouragement to you is, if you are planning on buying a home, when you get your tax refund, put that aside in the savings account. In your, maybe create a new savings account that's going to be called home purchase, and put all that money in there. So we talk all of that, all of those things that we get down in the checklist when we're working on your budget. Mortgage payment. I want you to truly understand what does that look like, okay? So it's comprised of 4 parts. The principal is what the amount of money that you actually borrowed, and you pay that down every month. The interest, right? The bank is giving you money and they want to get paid for you using that money. Your property taxes, and your homeowner's insurance, okay? The one big item that I want you to understand is that the biggest impact on your monthly payment is going to be the property taxes in the area where you buy, okay? So when I work with people, I actually have a spreadsheet of average property taxes of every home in the county that you're looking in. You know, whether you want to buy something in Mercer or Middlesex or Hunterdon in New Jersey, right? Property taxes overall, the state of New Jersey has the highest property taxes in the nation, right? In Pennsylvania, it's a little bit less. So we take all of that into consideration, and we talk about, you know, if you want to be the target school district, some school districts are comprised of a couple different townships, and it might be less expensive to live in one township. The school district is still the same. So there are some strategies that we can utilize to make sure that you, again, achieve your goals, whatever they may be. So that's why it's very important to sit down so that way you can share with me what is it that you want, what's on your mind. All right, maintain your pre-approval. This is very important. Once you know you're going to be pre-approved and you are shopping for a home, please don't get excited and do not go out and buy your new furniture because you don't have a home yet. Okay, it's very important. Okay, and I'm going to remind you about this on a regular basis until you actually find that home and you actually go through settlement, okay? There are no big purchases. You cannot add any credit cards. There's no additional debt. You cannot co-sign for any credit cards for anyone else. Please do not quit or make any job changes, okay? And please do not spend your down payment, okay? We're putting any big purchases, any spending on hold, only everyday expenses for you to live on. That's it. All right, step number 3, we are excited. We have our game plan together. Let's go out and look at homes, okay? What I'm going to ask you when I am building your list of homes that I'm going to send to you is I'm going to ask you the things that you absolutely need, that you're not willing to compromise on, and then I'm going to ask you the things that you would like to have, right? So for example, you would like to have a fireplace, but it's not required. Okay, so I want you to have those things kind of written down in your notebook when we're going to start, and I want you to start thinking about those things, okay? Then we're going to learn about the market, where is it that you want to buy, what to expect, and then we're going to refine your search. You're going to build your list, and then we were going to schedule the routes and the appointments and actually go out and look at homes. So here's what my goal is when we're actually looking at homes. Your job is to kind of get a feel for the space and see if it's going to work for you. Is the layout going to work for you? How is it location-wise to the schools and to your work? How is your commute going to look like, right? Do you like the features of amenities? What my job is when I am walking behind you is to make sure that this home for the sale price is going to be good value, if it's going to be good investment for you, right? If you had to sell that home in a few years, is that going to have a good resale value? And also, I am looking at potential hazards, potential issues. I'm always checking out big ticket items for repairs, like your roof, your heating and air conditioning system, windows, siding, and if there's a basement, make sure that the basement is nice and dry, right? So again, my job is to watch your back from start to finish until you become a homeowner and point out some of these things to make sure that you don't miss them. All right. Some people may be looking at condos or townhouses. There are some pros and cons. Pros are, if you're looking for something that is easy maintenance, you don't have to worry about cutting the grass or taking care of the snow in the wintertime, that's there, right? There are community features as well available if you wanted to have a workout room, maybe a pool, right? But then again, with having a condo, there's going to be HOA fees, right? So for some people, that's a negative. You also have rules and restrictions in place on what you can or cannot do. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Some people ask me about new construction. What I can tell you is that pretty much on both sides of the river, because I'm licensed in both Pennsylvania and New Jersey, new construction is hard to find that is reasonably priced. And the reason being is because we are location-wise, we are right in between Philadelphia and New York City. And of course, when you are close to major metropolitan areas, there's a lot of building that already took place, and land is not that easy to find. Okay, so some pros and cons here is, yes, you get everything new and you get to pick your colors and finishes, right? With the cons, again, the future of the neighborhood is uncertain. We're not sure what's going on with the outside area. And one of the biggest things that I want you to remember with new construction is your home gets assessed at the current tax brackets, and your property taxes are going to be very, very high on new construction, which means that it's going to affect your buying power, just like I already mentioned to you with regards to your monthly payment. So keep that in mind. All right, step 4, you guys are excited. You found the home, you are ready to go. We're going to make an offer, and when we make an offer, it's a whole package, right? We talk about what are some of the contingencies to make sure that you're protected, when is a good settlement date for you as well as for the sellers. I always reach out to the listing agent and find out what is a good thing for the sellers. What is it that we need to know that is important to the sellers, because we want to make sure this is a win-win. This is how you get on top of mind for the sellers and get your offer picked out, because you want the sellers to know that you care about their opinion and where they need to go, because they're making a big decision as well, right? They are moving somewhere else after living in a home for a good amount of time. Step number 5, your offer got accepted. So what's happening now is we're actually starting phase 2 of your home buying process, okay? So what I do, I always split the process in 2. Step number 1 is we are getting pre-approved and we're looking for a home, and then we found the home and we're made an offer. Once your offer is accepted, step 2 happens. It's basically, what do we need to take care of between now, today's day 1, up until your settlement date. Okay, we don't mix the 2. I don't like to go into phase 2 in the beginning, because I can tell you it's a lot. There is literally hundreds of steps that need to happen, and I don't want you to get overwhelmed because there's a lot. So my job is to help you and keep you on track and calm and focused on what we're doing today. Once your offer gets accepted, we're going to be doing inspections on your home, making sure that there is no structural hidden issues. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is to truly pay attention on the big stuff in the home, right? The big ticket items that I already mentioned to you. How does the roof look? Are there any water stains, right? Is there any mold or issues maybe in the basement or crawl space? Any plumbing, any electrical issues, okay? Cosmetic things, little things, they can all be taken care of without an issue. It's the big items that can cost you a lot of money, potential structural issues. Okay, that's what we're focusing on during the inspection. All right, step number 6, it's not quite as quickly as this is, but what we're going to do is make sure that your mortgage process gets finished, all the legal documents get done, we get our mortgage commitment. We're going to work together and finalize your packing and moving plans, depending where you are. And then the day before or the day of settlement, we're going to do a final walkthrough of your home, make sure that the sellers moved out, everything is great in your new home, and we're going to attend the closing. That is the time and the date when you officially sign the legal documents and you become a homeowner, right? That's when you actually get the keys to your home. So, well, guess what? It does not stop there. Okay, this is where I work with you to make sure that you become a responsible homeowner, that you just spent a lot of money and you bought an investment. Now your job, and I will help you with that, is to protect your investment. You have to maintain your home and perform routine maintenance. So what I'm going to give you is an actual binder that will have a maintenance schedule, the things that you need to do on a monthly, quarterly, and yearly basis, right? Just like anything else, when you buy your car, right, you have to get an oil change done every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. You know, there's other services that you have to do every so many miles, right? Well, the same thing for your home. You have to maintain it, make sure that you keep it in good shape, okay? And also, if you find small things, fix them now before they become big problems, and it's going to cost you more money, okay? Also, what's important, and I encourage you to do it now too, whenever you buy something and there's a warranty involved, just because you activate that warranty, if you cannot provide your proof of purchase, your warranty means absolutely nothing, okay? We learned it the hard way with a client not too long ago. So when you buy something and there's warranty involved, I encourage you to take a picture of your receipt with your phone or scan it to your computer and put it in your folder, in your drive, in your Google Drive, or somewhere where it's safe. So that way, if you have to use your warranty, I guarantee you the manufacturer is going to ask you for proof of purchase because they need to see when you bought it, right? Because the warranty may be for 1 year after you purchase. And the only thing that's going to prove when you bought it is your receipt. So I definitely encourage you to keep a receipt and warranties for pretty much anything you buy, right? Not just items in your home. All right, so again, when I work with clients, I provide this in writing to you as my commitment. Okay, I educate you about the market, help you figure out what your dreams and goals are, and help you understand how to make those dreams and goals reality. With a little bit of careful planning, I truly believe that anyone can become a homeowner. Absolutely, for sure. All right, here's what I'm encouraging you to do. If you want to get access to our multiple listing system that I mentioned to you earlier, that is better than Trulia, Zillow, and Realtor.com, here's our link to the app. It's going to be right on your phone. It is extremely easy and very intuitive to use. And if you don't want to type those letters, we are more than happy to text you the app link, and you can do it right on your phone. And what you can do is see and pick the neighborhoods and start just looking at things for now. And you can like and save the properties that maybe match your criteria. So I definitely encourage you to do this. All right, so we are heading towards the end of our workshop and right on time. So here is what I am offering to you. Again, my services to you as an agent are absolutely free. And I truly love what I do. I've been doing this for 11 years. I do this full time. That is all I do. I'm happy to talk to you and discuss with you what your plans are on what you want to accomplish and well. It's also important for me to know that maybe if you are downsizing or moving somewhere else, you need to let me know if you have to sell in order to buy another home. That is another important consideration that we need to know about. Besides this workshop, I do a few others. So you are more than welcome to check out our schedule on Live with Olga to see when some other workshops that are happening and what we're talking about. And a recording of this workshop that you can go back to is going to be posted tomorrow on my YouTube channel. It's called Penn Jersey Living with Olga, and the link is there as well. So my contact information is down below. I am on social media. A lot of the times I am on Facebook, so I would love for you to connect with me. And right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I invite you guys to ask questions on, you know, if there's something that I did not answer that you still would like me to give you more information,